What's up, everybody? This is Sabrina, and welcome to Silent Podcast, where we're anything but silent. I am here today, back after, I think, 2 years of not doing this podcast. So I'm very excited to be back on I'm Pleased to Tell You, the Amazing Race podcast. And I have two special guest hosts with me, well, really for the entire season. First up, we have Isaiah. Hello.
Hey Sabrina, listen, I'm really excited to be here. I've watched Amazing Race a couple times in the past, but like it's still like a different language to me, So I'm glad that I have you two here to kind of like hold my hand and help me figure this back over again, So glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to join this journey. You're wearing yellow. It matches the theme. We love that.
Yeah.
And our other host is Miss Janelle. How are you?
Hi, guys. I am so excited. I love The Amazing Race. I love Big Brother. I was like, Isaiah, I must talk about this. Like, there's no way that they could put two of my favorite shows together and I'm not going to talk about it. So I'm very excited for the season.
Yes. And I am too. I mean, this is the first time that we've had like a big crossover like this. I mean, there's been seasons in the past where there's been a few other people from Big Brother just kind of here and there, but this is the first season where every single team has at least one former Big Brother player. So I'm really interested to see how the strategy comes into play, because normally the Amazing Race is more so challenge heavy. And there's not a lot of social strategy, just a little bit here and there, but I definitely think it's going to be much more ramped up than it has been in like seasons past. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it's interesting because that actually the only two seasons that I watched to completion was pause. I used to watch when I was really little. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember like the Anderson twins and all that. All right. Mm-hmm. But the only two seasons I watched to completion were all like crossover related, which was like when Jess and Cody ended up, spoiler alert, winning. And I thought that was a really interesting season. And then I'm like, oh, let me check out the next season. It's a bunch of people from like Survivor and Big Brother and Amazing Race, So like, I'm finally tapping back in. I'm really curious to see how it ends up, because it feels like there's a lot of like friendships, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, you have to go watch Rachel on there. She slayed on The Amazing Race. Her and Brendan did so well, and that was actually my introduction to Rachel Riley. I didn't when I saw her on Amazing Race, I did not watch Big Brother at the time. So I'm like, who is this lady? Why is she crying all the time? Like, I did not get the Rachel Riley lore. But then once I got into Big Brother, her seasons were some of the first seasons that I watched because I remembered her from Amazing Race. And then once I watched from Big Brother, like her on Amazing Race made sense. Like, I understood who she was a lot more. But she killed it on the race. I love
it. It definitely makes for a little more of just like a pull from different fan bases. I mean, example, Isaiah, like you don't normally watch this show, but now there's Big Brother people, which you love. And so it just kind of brings in like a wider audience. And I'm really excited for that because I have been watching Amazing Race since day one. And it's one of my like first introductions to reality TV. And so I've always loved it, but there was like nobody to talk about it with. And so now it's becoming a little more popular and people are starting to, come into the fandom. And that's been really exciting for me because I'm like, oh my God, people actually watch the show. Like I can talk about this. That's like half the fun for me is actually talking about the show and not so much just watching it. So I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for you guys to be here with me. And yeah, let's dive into this very first episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over first and foremost the teams really quickly just to kind of get ready, like up to speed. So we have Tucker and Eric, who Tucker was on last season, 2 seasons ago, last season, Big Brother, and then his brother Eric, and they're pretty much like carbon copies of each other. They look like almost exactly the same. And then we have Izzy and Paige, who are engaged at the time of the show. Izzy was on 2 seasons ago, Isaiah?
25,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have Christine and Rubina, sisters. Rubina is at the time of the show dating Tucker, and they were on the same season as well. We have Hannah and Simone, also sisters. Hannah was on, you got to tell me what these season
23.
numbers.
23.
It's like, just keep rolling them out for me. And then we have Jack and Chelsea, father-daughter group, and Chelsea won Big Brother last season.
Yes.
Kat and Alex, who were dating. Kat was on, I don't know what season, but
21.
21. Yeah.
Jack and Enzo, who are brothers. Enzo was on 2 different seasons, I believe 12 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then we have Megan and Matt, who used to go by Turner on his season of Big Brother. Now he's going by Matt. It's going to really confuse me.
I'm like, put Turner. Nobody knows
For
who
real.
Matt
is. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
Turner.
Like, please keep going with that. And then we have Jazz and Jag, brothers. Jag also won Big Brother. We have a lot of winners on this season, which is really interesting to me. Like, it's really heavy hitters. As I Joseph and Adam, brothers. Kylan and Taylor at the time dating, and we all know who Kylan and Taylor are. Angela and Lexi, who I think are going to be so much chaotic fun. I cannot wait to watch them. Mm-hmm. And then we have Natalie and Stephanie, who are also sisters. So a lot of girl teams, which usually isn't super popular on the race. I would say the most popular team is usually a male-female team. But the fact that we have so many females I'm rooting for it. Like, I hope that they do well. They usually don't do statistically super well in the race, but I'm really hoping that somebody can get at least to maybe top 5, top 3 would be amazing.
Yeah, guy teams kill it in the Amazing Race.
No, it's ridiculous because there's so many. There's a lot of like puzzly, like thinking kind of challenges, but there are so many where it's just brute strength and endurance, and that is a big part of the race. And so, usually male, or even like a really strong female team usually does a lot better. There are very few all-female team winners in the rosters, so hopefully we can get something this season. But I think so far, I mean, we've seen some pretty good results. And
I think it's interesting because there's a lot of like season 26 and 25 representation in here. But even like outside of that, because we're talking about a lot of these Big Brother people, a lot of these people like hang out on a regular basis, and like I know, for example, Jazz, that's Jag's brother, he was very like active when it came to like Twitter and like going to hangouts and doing TikTok lives and stuff with these people. So he knows a lot of these people. I know Hannah's sister Simone. I met her before even this. Very nice girl. But like she goes to like events with Hannah all the time. So she knows a lot of these people. And then like
Tucker's brother has been at stuff too.
Yeah.
The watch party before this past summer.
Yeah, a lot of these people like tag along for like with their person to like these events and hangouts and things. So a lot of these people, even though this is like their first time being on the show, like they actually know a lot of these people. So it's a very like intricated cast. So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and that is definitely obviously not the norm on Amazing Race. Like usually you don't know any other team at all. Like there's hardly ever crossover for this cast to be so like just knowing of each other, like, and like hanging out and actually being friends is, I think there's gonna be a lot more drama than there usually is because there's already those friendships and relationships that are there. And so I'm interested to see how that's gonna change things around. But it's gonna be a lot different vibe in terms of social strategy. Because like I said, usually before it's not really a thing on the Amazing Race. Usually it's very much like you stay very insular with your team and that's about it. Yeah. So when we start this episode, it's probably the weirdest start I've ever seen on the Amazing Race. So Isaiah, usually when you start the race, you're in America, first off. You're almost always in the United States. And you are standing at that starting line with Phil. He gives his little spiel, and then he says, go, and you go. But I got a little bit of a whiplash starting the episode because they're already in Europe, already starting their first challenge. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this is so not the norm. And then, of course, we realize that there's a reason for this initial challenge. So Phil does his little spiel without them, saying that this is a European adventure. They're only going to be in Europe, but I don't know why. I tried doing some research as to why it was just in Europe. My thoughts are maybe some of the contestants didn't want to go anywhere else. And so maybe they wrote that into the season or made it like part of the contract negotiation. I don't know. But last season, it was the first season where we were fully back to like Amazing Race post-COVID, where we were back to literally all over the world. I mean, they went everywhere last season, and there was no like standard flights. It was back to buying your own tickets, going to the airport, all that kind of drama. And so I don't know why they decided to condense back to a small area of the world. I mean, it's not always my favorite. I prefer them to go everywhere because I think it's just more interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Theories?
So they're only traveling in Europe this season.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, just Europe. And there was a season post-COVID where they were only in South America. And that was it.
Do you think maybe it's like a situation where they all got like higher pay? Like some of the contestants got higher, like was it stipends or whatever? Yeah. So he's like, all right, if you want me to come on, you got to pay me more. Like that's a lot.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking, because there were several previous Big Brother players that they wanted to be on the show and they declined because the compensation was not enough.
There you go.
And and so I believe some of them was I think it was Danny and Janelle, I think were two of them that said they didn't want to go on anymore. And then there was I think Ian was a potential, but his maybe teammate had to drop.
Okay.
So there were a couple of like near like castings that didn't happen, but yeah,
Danny
that's my
Donato?
I guess. I'm sorry?
Danny Donato?
No.
Oh,
what's her last name?
Is she a recent player? A Danielle? Not Danielle Murphy.
Danielle Reyes?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Yes. So she, I guess, wanted more compensation, didn't happen, and so she decided not to be on the show. So there was like 3 or 4 people that they had asked that declined. So I'm wondering if that had to do with the placement of just being in Europe.
Makes sense.
But nothing confirmed. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to say, I thought it was so weird when the show started. I'm like, wait, did I miss? Like, was I not paying attention? I had to rewind the show.
Yes, me too. I was so confused. I was like, why are we going into this challenge? But obviously, for a little bit of drama, because the winner of this first sort of challenge was to get an express pass. And express passes are very coveted. If you get one, you can skip any challenge on any leg that you want. And hopefully that propels you to
5, right?
I don't remember what he said. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a time limit on it because it's so early in the game.
Yeah, there is. I think it's like leg 6 or something, or 5 or 6.
I wouldn't be surprised because that would be way too easy to take it to like the final leg or something like that. But this challenge, they have to go to this ice rink and they have to do ice bowling. So the teams are on a sled. They have a helmet on. They're on their stomachs on this sled. And then their teammate has to push them to score a strike with the bowling pins. And the first person to complete it would get the express pass. And this seemed like a pretty simple, straightforward task. I mean, I think there was 2 lanes and they all just took turns doing it. Some people did better than others, obviously. Taylor and Kylan winning was no surprise to me. Kylan has been doing really well on the challenge. And so I can really see him doing well on any kind of physical challenge this season. So I'm interested to see how he's going to do. I think they did really well, obviously. But another not new, but like fairly new element they're adding in the season, at least for this first challenge, was the hazard, which has been used once before in season 19, but never since, where the person who gets last in this challenge gets kind of like a speed bump, which is a more relatively used term on The Amazing Race, where whenever they had the non-elimination legs, which they don't really do anymore, the person who would get last, they would have to do a speed bump challenge at the next leg of the race and then keep going. So similar concept, but it's just for this first challenge. So I would rather them bring back non-elimination legs and do the speed bumps versus this random hazard punishment for the first challenge. It's not even really a challenge. I don't know.
I will say real quick, during the first challenge, I thought it was kind of funny. I guess because I was really curious to see who was going to be like good in confessionals or just good like one-liners. And I wasn't the biggest like Angela fan during Big Brother. What was it, 26? But she's kind of funny.
Honestly, I am so here for her and her daughter. Like this cast is like has the most cracked energy, and I'm like so ready for it because everybody is just. Somebody's going to have a major breakdown or like somebody's just going to go feral, and it's probably going to be Angela. I mean, let's be real, but I am very excited because everybody is going to be so dramatic and so ridiculous on this season, just from already the personalities that we know already from Big Brother. But yeah, I agree with you.
My favorite energy is Izzy. She's giving. She's ready to slaughter Jag. I'm ready for this rivalry all season. She cannot stand that man, and I love it because it's like fun rivalry.
Yes.
She talked about getting him out of the house unanimously and the work she put in to do it, and then he was ultimately saved by a twist and won the game. And she's like, I can't stand that. Like, I love it. So we see how she does this leg, but like, I'm ready for this energy. I want her to overtake him so bad. I'm like, get him, Izzy. Get him. I'm rooting for her to get that man.
Honestly, I am too. It was so funny to me how she very like early in the episode was like, I want him out now. Because like we don't get that ever on The Amazing Race. It's never like that rivalry like immediately. So it is a lot more fun. So I'm excited about that part too, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, Taylor and Kyland ended up
good at this challenge.
Ooh, honestly, I think I would be good at this challenge.
Yeah, I would be terrible.
I would flail and like get it.
I think it would be like trial and error. Like it's just something that you have to do a couple of times to get the feel for, to see how to guide yourself or how hard to push or whatever. But
yeah, I think it'd be a fun one. I think it's a fun, like kind of easy intro into like the challenges, because that's a pretty relatively easy one, I would think, compared to some of the other ones that we'll see. But yeah, it was a good like intro. So Taylor and Kyland win the Express Pass. Like I said, they did great, and I was not shocked at all. And Enzo and Jack getting the hazard was great. No notes. I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They ticked me off all episode. I'm like, get some hustle, get some pep in your step. Like,
I know.
Act like you care.
For real. I was like, okay,
I've gotten to a point, especially with Enzo specifically, that I'm just like, Enzo is literally here for a check.
100%.
I don't think he really cares about doing good in shows anymore. No. And I don't know how he keeps getting casted for shows. I don't even dislike him. I'm just like, bro, what are we doing here?
Literally, he's not bringing the energy we need. And the rest of the cast is. So it's like, you're going to get the hazard, fine. I mean, that's the one person I'd be like, cool. Like, no big deal. Whatever.
Yeah. Perfect first boot.
Yeah, seriously. And so we get to the end of the challenge. We all figure out who wins, who loses. And then they just go straight to Phil. And it's like the actual starting line. So again, really weird format. I don't love that. I'm not a fan. But we do get a twist in that Taylor and Kyland don't win one Express Pass. They win two. So they have to give their Express Pass publicly to another team. And they end up choosing Jag and Jazz, which
listen. If you know me, you know Taylor's my girl. I ride hard for Miss Hale. And I listened to what they said. They said that they didn't want to give it to Joseph and his brother or Hannah and her sister because they're already cool. They're already close. They expect to be working with them, which we did see in this episode. Mm-hmm. And they want to give it to somebody to make some friends. Great. I agree. But them? Why them?
No.
Jag has already showed that he is great at many, many different things.
This man won Big Brother. What are you doing?
I know. And granted, he did suck this leg. He came in 9th place or last place, almost got last. But still. I don't know why she picked those two. I'm like, give it to Izzy. Come on. I was so annoyed at the choice. Literally, I would have been fine with anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, coming from someone that doesn't have too much experience, there's pros and cons too. Obviously the con is he's one of the better competitors out here. What are you doing? Right.
Yeah. Right.
But there is some method to the madness, because knowing that he's going to be a good competitor, even if you did take a shot at those two, I doubt they're going to go home this early. Mm-hmm. So it's almost all right, they need to go, but let's let someone else do it. Right. If they're going to be in a position to get a power later, maybe they're not if there's U-turns or something. I know U-turns exist.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do it to us. Remember what we did?
That's fair.
So there's a strategy to it a little bit.
I will say that's a good point, Isaiah. if they're gonna make friends in the game, make friends with the strong team that could potentially help you. Maybe that I would love to ask them. If I get to ask them, that's what I would say. But I'm just those two. They're so good.
I know.
Like,
but I think Isaiah does make a good point in that in the future there's going to be definite opportunities for like scratching their back too, especially with the U-turns coming up. We don't know when they'll be yet, but that would definitely be a point to where like, yeah, they probably would need that help.
And I wanted to say really quickly, sorry, we did see them like Jag and Jazz. They did help people out a lot. Like when Turner was lost, he's like this way, like no there, and he helped a couple other teams. So it's not like they're, unwilling to help out. But kudos to them for that, because you don't have to help everybody.
That's very true. Yeah. So this second Express Pass was like the most Big Brother coded thing that I've seen on this show. And like they definitely did it on purpose. Like they were going to the Phil and they were like, hey, so there should be 2. Let's do that.
We need twists.
Yeah, we need more twists, more. Yeah. Like Jeff is like walking through the door, like more advantages. Like, God. So we get to the point where we're actually at the starting line, the real starting line, where Phil does his, hand up and go, safe travels, see you later. They are still staying in the Netherlands. They're not leaving at this point. The entire leg is in the same area, basically. And after they leave, they are immediately self-driving, which is, in my personal opinion, the like most equalizer thing in the Amazing Race is self-driving. It can like really, really kill somebody's game if you are not a good navigator. And we see several teams who are struggling.
You are not a good navigator, Isaiah.
I live and breathe by the GPS, so I would do terrible.
I was Turner. When Turner said, like, how do I get anywhere without my iPhone? Oh, that's me. I will go to the same place 5 times and use my GPS all 5 times. If you ask me to read a map, I'm probably going to be unsuccessful. Like,
that is something that, like, I feel like because I would love to do the Amazing Race, and if I ever did, I would have to legitimately like practice using a map. Like, I would have to sit there and be like, okay, how would I actually navigate this city using a physical map? Because that would be so hard for anybody in this day and age. Like, nobody uses MapQuest anymore. Like, we're using iPhones. Like, it is what it is. So I feel the struggle there. Like, I really do. Like, and poor Matt and Megan, my God, they had such a hard time getting there. And there's always at least one team, almost every self-driving leg, where they are just so horrendously lost. And they were that team. Mm-hmm. And the actual place they're going to, they're trying to get to somewhere, the cheese market, to deliver cheese. But before they get to the cheese market, they have to find these tandem bikes and ride themselves on the bikes to the cheese market, which honestly sounds like a really nice way to get there. Like, the tandem bike sounds kind of fun. Like, and you're just pedaling through this beautiful scenery.
I think they're harder than they look.
Probably.
I think they are harder than they look. Can both of you ride bikes?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Listen, I podcasted with somebody else about this show, and they didn't know how to ride a bike. I was like, damn.
Really?
Pharaoh and Lee shaking my head. Sorry.
So you never know, but I think a tandem bike would be hard, because we saw Angela and her daughter. She's like, Lexi,
literally the whole time.
You know her. Yeah.
Also, side note, Lexi is like beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
My God. So we get to the port of Volendam to get to the tandem bikes, and that's where we figure out where Enzo and his brother's speed bump or hazard is, where they have to eat a whole herring before they can continue. And then when they continue, they're in this weird clog tandem bike thing that just looks super cumbersome and terrible. And they're already not doing well getting to the port. Also having terrible navigation skills, and they get there, I believe, dead last. And so they're already in last, have to do the speed bump, and then have to get on the bike and go. So we're kind of in a 2-person race for last at this point between them and Matt and Megan.
Yeah, they took me out too, because there was just, I'm like, hustle, Turner. They're like, let's ride and enjoy the scenery. I'm like, what?
It's like you're not enjoying anything until you cross the finish line.
Exactly. No. They had no urgency to me. I'm like, run, like go.
You gotta go. Like you gotta go. I would love to know how far that distance was, though, between the port and the cheese market, because it seemed like not that long. But then somebody kept saying, "Oh, it's you have to go a really far way to get there. You have to go really far." So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought the challenge was a little annoying. Like I think it could be annoying trying to get that cheese to set up, and it continued to fall and fall and fall and fall and fall.
Yes,
I don't know what the madness was, but I know it wasn't that easy.
No,
the
definitely
Amazing
not.
Race challenges are so goofy, by the way. I'm just like,
honestly, I love them. I think about like, how do they get the locals to do the challenges? Like, do they have like a casting call? They're like, hey guys, like on Thursday we're gonna be doing this cheese thing. Like, and then just
it might be like a sponsorship or something. Like, shoot, I remember that the one season where they had like kids catching frogs, and they're like, you guys have to catch frogs, and some people were like struggling to do it, but then just have these kids easily just catching them. It's just like they're just like, how do you think of these challenges? Like, I don't know. It's really funny.
Last season, the fourth wall was kind of broken with the the locals, because there was a challenge where they had to like, I think it was like chopping wood or like carrying wood or something like that. And like the guy who was giving the clues out, he was just this older gentleman. The next day on the next leg, the winners of last season, got into just a public transportation bus, and that guy happened to be on the bus. And
the guy that won?
No, the guy who gave them like their clue, like the local person, and he just happened to be there randomly, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's you!" Like, that's crazy, and like that's never ever happened before. Where they was
he going to the same place as them, or like
no? It was the next day, and they just happened on the same bus. He was just like going to work or something, and just like hanging out, and like it was really crazy. So like so I see that, I'm like, oh, it's just like a normal, just local person just doing their thing. Yeah, I know. So I do like want to know how they actually recruit these people to like be a part of the challenges, because they get a lot of people sometimes. Some of them are like a lot, like in the like extras in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
But this challenge is just a regular route info challenge. It's not a detour. It's not a roadblock. And like Janelle said, they have to go and get these like probably like this big, like waxy cheese balls and stack them in a pyramid on this sled thing. And they have to carry them without them falling back to the cheese market. And I agree. I think that would get really annoying, because it's probably going to fall a gajillion times, and I would probably lose my mind.
Oh yeah. I would do terrible. And like, if not 99.9% of the challenges on the show, I would do terrible. I'll be a great moral support. Like I said, I watched the Jessica and Cody season, and I would be the Jessica, just be like, you got it. Come on. Like, moral support.
Good job.
I would definitely be like the nerf to whoever I'm partnering with. Be terrible.
I don't know. I feel like for this challenge, like, yeah, I think it's just so particular. It's like you could either be great at it or you're just going to suck, and then until you just happen to luckily figure it out.
Yeah.
So this challenge, I don't think anybody overtakes anybody. I think everybody just kind of comes and goes in the same like spots that they're in. So it's not really like a big like game changer, really. Everybody does okay. And then everybody gets back to the port also like fine. They all ride their bikes back, except Kat accidentally has a piece of her uniform or her costume still on her. She's wearing her bandana, which usually the rules will state you have to take off your costume, or you have to leave this, or you have to take this, and you have to be really, really like detail oriented on your clue. Because that's also a downfall for people. It's either not driving stick or not reading your clue. I feel like those are the two big like faux pas of the Amazing Race that people like commit. But thankfully, go ahead, Janelle.
I was going to say, if Isaiah didn't know, sometimes people have done stuff like that, like not read their clue. Like they'll take a taxi when they're supposed to walk, or they leave, they keep their costume on, and they get to the checkpoint and feels like go back, or you got a time penalty for doing it incorrectly.
No.
You have to. That's why she was so upset, because you have to really, really pay attention, because it has gotten people out of the game in the past.
100%. Yeah. So you have to be like so laser focused on your clue. And thankfully she did spot it very early though. Like they just got back to the port like, oh crap, I did leave this. And so they were able to drive over there and just drop it off and go. So they got very, very lucky, because they could have very much potentially had some kind of penalty. So good for her for figuring it out. So the next challenge is a roadblock. It is this gigantic like nursery of these beautiful flowers. I would have loved to just walk around there. It looks so pretty. And their challenge is that they have to replicate a floral display from a box without, like, by memory, basically. And there's so many flowers that look very similar, so it could be very time consuming, very detail oriented type of challenge. And yeah, some teams do really well, some help each other, and that's kind of the nature of some of these roadblocks, is that you'll find that when people are helping each other, it's usually during a roadblock, because people will get frustrated on their own, don't have their teammates, they need a little bit of support. So that's like the one strategy that I really do enjoy on the Amazing Race, is having, like, especially if you're in the lead, like having like one extra team that you're kind of like working together with, and then you both just kind of race to the pit stop. But obviously not when you're at the bottom. Like, don't do that. Like, don't help people when you're like the last like 2 or 3.
Yeah, when they when Jag and Jazz got there first, when they got there and they opened those doors, I was like, oh my God, that place was huge. Like, you couldn't even see the whole entire thing. I was like, oh. And then I thought it was nuts that they shut the lights off.
Oh my God, that was so diabolical. Like, when they closed the shades, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That's so unfair.
It was not fair. It was not fair at all. They're literally in there. It was already hard enough. Now y'all, and then the sun went down. I'm like, those later teams were so stupid.
That was awful. Like, when they started closing, I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, those poor people to like do it in the freaking dark, and they had headlamps and everything. Like, oh my God,
it's not fair at all.
So the team members who did the roadblock is Lexi, Simone, Izzy, Chelsea, Jack, Jazz, Joseph, Kat, Christine, Taylor, Matt, Stephanie, and Eric. So those are the ones who completed the roadblock. Isaiah, for roadblocks, the teams have to do as even as possible on the roadblocks.
Okay.
So if you get to the end of the season and your partner has done like 5 roadblocks and you've only done like 2, you have to do the next roadblock, and so on and so forth until you're even again. So it's a little bit of strategy too as to who goes and does the roadblock. So that's why you'll kind of see people debating. They're like, okay, well, you do it. No, you should do it. Like, because not just for like who's better at it, but also thinking about, okay, if this is an easy one for you, then I can do the harder one later.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And we saw, which I think we're going to see a lot, when Taylor got in there. I can't remember what she said to Joseph about helping his ex. I forget.
Yes. I quoted her. Hold on. She said, "Are you picking those for your new girlfriend?"
Oh, that's what it was. And then,
I was like, Taylor.
She does not care. And then her, Chelsea, and Joseph all help each other for this challenge. Like, they're going to be rocking together, I foresee, for the challenge, as long as possible anyway.
Probably.
So real quick, because Janelle, you're more versed in the social media streets than I am. Speaking of new girlfriend, so is it real? Like, true. Is Joseph and Chelsea dating?
No, they were.
It's not. It's not.
No, it's not true. They were somewhere, like, because everybody's together in LA for the Amazing Race and the Big Brother premiere, so everybody's in LA. And apparently they were Taylor, Kylan, Chelsea, Joseph were all together. Kat Dunn was there, and she said something along the line, "Oh, Chelsea, what's going on with you and Joseph?" And she just played it up. And somehow it got taken and ran with. They posted photos simultaneously. They were being funny. Then
she posted my diamond.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what are we doing here?
Around. Chelsea and Taylor were literally on live today talking about this, giggling and kikiing about it. It's not true. They're not.
If she comes on, I'm pressing her. I'm asking her. So I want to hear from her mouth. I'll be like, "Yo, so what's going on with these tweets?"
Spill it.
They're playing with people's emotions because they know how crazy these rabid fans are. That's
true.
All it is.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about how Christine is a florist? And it's like, that is the perfect challenge for her. Like, are you joking?
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
I love when something like that happens. Like, when somebody is so just like connected to a challenge, I love that for them. It's just like such a great stroke of luck. It's great.
Yeah.
And I feel like the race is definitely a lot of luck.
I'm crying. I'm so sorry. Let me continue. I literally opened Twitter just to see if I can find that picture again. First thing that comes on my feed, Us Weekly post. Big Brother may be over, but the romance rumors involving 2 former contestants continue. And then Chelsea literally tweets, "Cat done. This is all your fault."
I told
you. Oh my god.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry about that.
You're fine. So most of the teams that are there are doing okay. Like there's not a lot of struggling happening, except for Kat. She's kind of losing it a little bit. And I can understand why. She's like near the bottom of the pack. She had the issue with the costume. It's dark in there. She knows she's towards the end. And I get it. I can understand being like tired and upset and nervous about potentially losing this leg. But she ends up pulling it out. She's gonna be fine.
I was like, get it together, Kat. Stop crying. Let's go. Hustle.
I know. And like, honestly, though, Kat? Seriously, though, it's so true. Because, like, when you're that far at the bottom, like, I understand, like, the fear and, like, being upset, but you gotta move. Like, you've got to just, it's not over until Phil says it's over. And it's so true. Like, you never know. There's been so many times where people legitimately are like, we are last. We are done. We're just going to take it easy. And they figure out they're like, there's 1 person or 2 people behind them and they didn't even know. Like you just can't count yourself out because you literally have no idea until you end.
I got a question because it pertains to what I'm about to say. Who are y'all rooting against? We always talk about who you rooting for. Who you rooting against?
Against?
Who you want to lose? Yeah.
I mean, I was rooting against Jack and Enzo, but you know, well, you know how that ends.
Jag, Rio.
I'm Team Izzy. Team Get Him.
I'm rooting against Cat Dunn.
Yeah. You're rooting for who?
I'm rooting against Cat Dunn.
Oh, are you?
Unfinished
I
business.
didn't watch her season, so I don't have very many gripe with her. I
don't got no problems with Cat Dunn. But I do want to see her lose.
Like I honestly, I don't really care. Like if she wins whatever, she loses whatever. Like I'm very indifferent about her. Like some of the things she does, like it brings the drama and that's fun for me. But that's it is what it is. Like that's kind of all I really care about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and another thing too is like to your point, Janelle, about being like, let's hustle. Like whenever you are towards the bottom and you finally get like the challenge done and you're just so excited, stop hugging people and standing there and being so excited. Just get your clue and run. Like you gotta go. Like you are about to be eliminated. You need to leave. And I feel like that happens all the time with people who are at the very, very end of the pack and they finally get their challenge that they're like so upset about. And it's like, you're going to be more upset if you were last at the pit stop. Like, please go. Like immediately leave. Like I hate that. But also, another random thought. What if you were like going to the bathroom when your teammate was getting their check? What do you do? Like what if like what if it's the roadblock and you were like going to the bathroom or something and then your teammate like gets their check like for their challenge and they get it, but you're like gone?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think it's ever happened, but I just think about that sometimes. I'm like, what if you're just not there, and then they win, and then you're like, oh, because sometimes you're there for a long time.
Matrix.
I don't know. I just think about that sometimes. I just think about all the logistics of like what would happen.
Yeah. That would be chaotic.
It's so ridiculous. So we get to the overall end of this challenge. We'll talk about the order of finishing in a little bit, but I realized that, so Enzo and Jack, they are last to finish the roadblock, and you can see in the background that it's 11 p.m. There's a clock like standing behind them. So clearly it's been a very long day. I don't know what time they started, of course, but I like seeing those little kind of glimpses of like the outside world, like within the race, kind of giving you like a perspective on like what's actually happening. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I would love, because I know these challenges, sometimes they whiz by them, but I know they take a long time, obviously. They must. If they're going till 11 p.m. at night, and then they're exhausted, they're tired, like they get emotional. But I would love if we could have some sort of clock as to how long it takes people to do things, because they never show us that. And I guess I understand why, because then they can't fool you at the end, making you think it has a chance when they really don't have a chance.
Yep.
But I really wish that at least a time clock as far as how long these tasks are taking people. I'm really curious.
I would like a graphic like that where it's like in the middle of the challenge being like 2 hours elapsed or like half an hour elapsed. That would be great, because that wouldn't give you like fully like a spoiler of like where they're at, but just kind of giving you an idea of like, okay, it took them this long. Yeah. Or
I wonder if we can go to ChatGPT for this sometime.
Or we could do something where one of my favorite things about the show is like whenever they do the pit stop, or sorry, the starting line the next day, where they show you, it basically shows you what time they got in, because it's always 12 hours after they cross the pit stop line. And so you can kind of guesstimate how much time it took each person to get there after them, which I like seeing that kind of ratio. But it would be nice to add a graphic on there saying like this particular challenge, they did this in 30 minutes yesterday, or they did this in an hour yesterday, just to get like a little blurb just for like extra fun facts would be really cool. But yeah, that'd be my addition. Would be nice. So we get to the pit stop. It's called Museum Plain. And there's a bunch of just world-class museums that are around the area, and they're in like a courtyard sort of spot. And we get to the finish line, and Jag and Jazz end up beating out Tucker and Eric in a foot race, and they end up winning the leg. And their prize for being first is $2,500 each. And it seems like a lot of the teams were kind of finishing in those kind of groups close together, like groups of 2 or groups of 3. And that usually happens towards the beginning. And there's usually somebody gets stuck on the roadblock and they kind of finish at the same time. But the overall like finishing like order is Jazz and Jag first, second place, Tucker and Eric, third place, Izzy and Paige. They did pretty well. I think they came back from being pretty far down earlier in the day. So they had a pretty good comeback.
Yes. Izzy and Paige. I love
I was happy about that too. And then we had Christina and Rubina. They also did pretty well. Fifth place, Natalie and Stephanie. I love the joke. And Natalie was like, everybody thinks we're dating, but we're actually like legitimate sisters. And I was like, yeah.
Real quick, Natalie is such a random addition to this cast, because I'm like, yo, you played so long ago. And she's like, she's such an MTV person. You said what?
What season was she on?
Nicole Franzel season 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was such a long time ago.
I know.
And she's like an MTV person now. I'm just like, oh.
I know. I wonder if it's because she was on the challenge more recently. Maybe they were just kind of like
probably
crossover. Yeah. And then 6th place, Jack and Chelsea. 7th place, Hannah and Simone. 8th place, Joseph and Adam. 9th place, Taylor and Kylan. And you can tell Taylor is already over Kylan in this season. Like literally episode 1. Like the amount of like side eyes to the camera was insane.
And I want to say Joseph and Adam are going to be some of my favorites. Their energy is electric. They're just running everywhere, screaming with excitement. I love them. One big ball of positivity.
I love that too.
Yeah.
And then 10th place, we have Angela and Lexi. 11th place, Kat and Alex. They figured it out. 12th place, Megan and Matt. And eliminated in last place was Jack and Enzo. Honestly, see you later. Like no there.
Absolutely nothing. Like I'm never going to forgive Enzo. I don't know. You probably don't know this, Isaiah.
Because of the challenge. I know.
Yes, he ruined Destiny.
You guys are tired of the meow meow?
Yes.
Not the meow
I
meow.
am too.
God.
The meow meow.
I will say one of my favorite parts of the episode was whenever Enzo left Jack in the clog and he just stepped off the bike and the bike just like fell over with his brother in it.
You can tell they did not want to do the show after the first night. They were like, let's just get out of here.
Like,
can we get the fuck up out of here?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that they were so frustrated that nothing was coming easy for them. That they were just like, forget this. Like, this is terrible.
Literally, like immediately. As soon as they lost that first challenge, it was just downhill from there. They just did not.
Everything went wrong. They could not find directions. They were slow. Everything went wrong.
It was so bad.
I knew Enzo was like done taking like reality TV seriously when he entered. I forget who was hosting this. There was like a celebrity net fights event years ago, and it was like some Big Brother US players who were boxing against BB Can players.
Stop.
And he agreed to box against Godfrey and got whooped. So I'm just I remember Josh Martinez was in that, and Bessie and Casey, but Enzo specifically, him and that guy Nick from BB19, I really don't like. But him, he got whooped. He was like, I still showed up and I tried my best, yo. Yeah, like, I'm a warrior.
Oh my god!
I was like, yo, he needs money, and I'm not even dissing him. Like,
also, I love that. I love how everybody's like names at this point were like brothers, sisters, whatever, and then theirs was Jersey Brothers.
Yeah,
like let's be specific here. Like, okay.
Yo, we the meow meow from Jersey, yo. Like, come on, bro. It's time. It's time to retire, bro. It's done.
Any random little moments that you guys really enjoyed in this episode? Any like comments or like offhanded stuff or like things in the background that you enjoyed?
I already said all mine. Izzy, Joseph, and Adam. I was over Cats crying. I do understand. I'm like, come on, girl, you can do this. Like, pick it up. You got this.
Yeah.
I like how sporadic the edit style for Amazing Race is. Mm-hmm. And I really look for Amazing Race for like those one-liners, confessionals.
Yes.
I think Izzy and Angela did a great job. I am rooting for Hannah though. And who else am I rooting
Hannah
for?
Simone.
Yes.
I like Hannah and Simone.
People. Yes, sweetest people. I've met them a couple of times. Like, I want them to do well.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna lie, Turner and Megan are pretty funny too. They're chill. Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it, but kind of not. I was like pleasantly surprised by how they were doing, like just kind of just offhanded, just like they were actually entertaining, even though they were towards the bottom the whole time. I was actually having fun watching them. Yeah. But I will say one of my favorite like random moments was during the roadblock when Simone was like going back to the flowers and she was like, "This is such a fun roadblock," and literally right after that, Joseph was like, "This is hell." And so I love all those one-liners are so great because it is very like you said, sporadic and just like really quick, like just little here and there. And so really good one-liners will probably come up this season. So I'm excited to hear them.
I would hate to be a cameraman for this show because if your team sucks, you're like stuck with them all day.
And I mean, when you think about it, the cameraman, they have to run as quickly as they do. Like they have to be on them the entire time. Like they cannot dilly-dally at all.
They're getting paid, so I don't feel too bad for them.
True.
But they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so we talked a little bit about who we're rooting for, who we're rooting against, but from this episode, who do we think is the legitimate winner pick of the season?
Don't answer, Janelle, because you know the answer. I think I don't know who's gonna win, but as of right now, Jag is such a threat in his brother, and they scare me a lot.
Yeah.
Even though their chemistry with Kylan and Taylor, I'm iffy about them because I think that they're not their personalities, but like their team makeup reminds me a lot of Derek and Claire, where just like they're both pretty athletic, they're both sort of intelligent, and I feel like they can pull off certain challenges. Again, Amazing Race challenges are goofy, so I don't know. Yeah. And then if I had
listen,
wait, exactly.
Pause. I saw a couple of dancing challenges. Kylan is gonna fail miserably. I love Kylan, but a dancer he is not. Same with Joseph. Yeah. I am like, I need that to be in like a very soon episode. I want to see these people forced to dance. Yeah. I hope it's both sides. I think it is. I need to see that.
Those would be my two though. I think from the seasons I have seen, I think that the best formula for like a win is like both players being like at least equally good at physical and mental. And
what do you think about Tucker? You don't think Tucker?
I don't know his brother. So in Tucker,
you don't know Jack's brother.
And here's the thing though. Tucker was a comp beast where the competitions became equitable. So I don't really hold a lot of stock in modern day comp beast anymore because they're not really physical challenges anymore. Where I feel like Jag won in a season where like a lot of the challenges were physical. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at.
They were only one season apart.
They are, but they changed the rules sporadically between that. Okay. You know, so yeah.
I would also agree with you that I think Jazz and Jag are a real threat. And I think they made it a point to discuss, like, hey, like, I'm the brains, he's the brawn, like, I'm the street smart one, he's the book smart one. And, like, I think that really helps with the dichotomy of the challenges on The Amazing Race, because you're right. Some of them are really, really physical, and some of them are just more mental or more puzzle kind of like stuff. And so I really could see them doing really well. I think if Kylan and Taylor got their communication better, they would do better. Because you could just already tell from this first episode that they're just not jiving totally well. And Taylor even said, like, we're on this season to see if we're going to make it as a couple, which I don't think Amazing Race is good couples therapy. And they're not the only ones to say that either. There's been past couples who have said that as well. They're like, we're doing this to see if we can, like, get married. And it's like, you are going to do The Amazing Race to figure out if you need to get married. That's crazy. Like,
if you want to do that, go on Temptation Island or something. Like, this is not the show for that.
I get it.
I'm sure you do.
It tests your, like, patience with each other, your communication skills, like.
That's what therapy's for, though. Not Amazing Race.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going on this show to win $1 million.
That's what therapy's
like,
for.
I am here to win $1 million doll hairs. Like, I don't know.
But, like, I could see the vision. That's all.
Yeah.
I
get the vision, but just bad execution. I get the vision, though. I understand that you definitely can, like, test, like, what you need to test within your couple. Totally get that. But, like, I don't think that's going to win you $1 million.
I'm also just interested to see if Taylor or Jag or Chelsea pull off a win. And I know, like, I don't want to spoil any other shows, but, like, I know Parvati exists and whatever. If they win Amazing Race, even though the challenge isn't on CBS anymore, when the Challenge US was on here, technically Chris Underwood's the only one to win, like, 2 reality shows on 2 different, like, two reality shows on 2 different, like, reality CBS shows. So it was a Challenge USA and it was Survivor. So if one of them win, then there would be a winner of Big Brother and a winner of Amazing Race. Hasn't been done before. I don't think the challenge really counts anymore.
Cody and Jessica won.
But they didn't win Big Brother. They didn't win Big Brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
I know. I was really I was thinking about them too, and I was like, did they win? I was like, no, they didn't.
No.
Like, I was wondering if, like, there hasn't been a lot of Amazing Race crossover to other shows, like, where that's your first show. There's been a few people from Amazing Race that have gone to the challenge. And like, Jeremy from The Amazing Race, he went to the challenge. He's on the current season right now. And then we had a couple people from, like, a couple seasons ago who also went on the challenge, but, like, very, very few people. And so I'm wondering if some of these people will go maybe, like, to Survivor or something. There's only been technically 2 people to go from Amazing Race to Survivor, and that was the Anderson sisters. And that's literally it. I don't think there's been anybody starting Amazing Race going to Big Brother or Survivor.
Jackie and Jeff. They went, that was Big Brother 17. Jackie and Jeff went over there. That was Steve Moses, Vanessa, Austin, Liz, all that.
Oh yeah, there
were a twist. Remember Phil? Girl, right? Yeah, it was like the Big Brother takeover, and Phil Keegan came and was like, "We're taking over Big Brother," and then Jackie came over. Jeff flopped, but Jackie came over and she did good.
Yes.
And we've had lots of survivors. I feel like there's been Rob and Amber slayed The Amazing Race. Rob was doing stuff on Amazing Race. People, like, somebody wrecked their car and they just drove them.
Yeah.
See you later.
So I would love to see people from, I mean, obviously the season's different because it's all Big Brother people, but I mean, just to still have more representation from Amazing Race to other shows. I would love that because it doesn't happen as much. Usually it's like Big Brother Survivor.
See the Afghanimals
challenge.
I like them.
Afghanimals, yeah. So I would like to see more of that. So I'm hoping that
the Afghanimals were nuts. I like them. Isaiah, you saw their season?
Yeah, I would like to see them on Survivor. That would be fun.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Did one of them not go on another show?
Challenge USA.
Okay, I knew I saw one of them.
That's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's just more light on the Amazing Race, especially with this season, because there is so many Big Brother people, and like I just love the show so much. So I'm hoping that it just resonates with more people. I'm really gonna enjoy this season. I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun for what it is. Out of the big three on CBS, I will say, challenge wise, and maybe even like viewer retention wise, I think Amazing Race keeps you way more engaged because there's just so much you're doing. You're not just stuck in one general area.
Yeah,
the show has so much potential. It just it's such a fast-paced show, so it's just like if you look away for a second, you're going to be like out the loop. And I think that's where people like me, like it just took a little bit for me to come back, but I'm really excited. I'm having fun with this. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like this cast has some cool people. I don't really care for the cast that much. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm just ready to be here with you two to cover. So that's the whole reason why I'm watching it. So yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish off by just talking about where you guys are at. If you want to talk about anything, promote anything else that you're working on, we'll start with Janelle.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
No, just like talking about like your socials, anything else you're working on, stuff you want to promote.
My socials are Janelle Michaud. I'm Janelle Michaud everywhere: TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. And the only thing I'm doing is hosting with y'all. We got one more episode tonight for Bounce Checks. We're going to go over the finale after we leave here. So come watch us then. But that's it.
Yay. Okay. What about you, Isaiah?
Same thing. So you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers on just about everything. And yeah, we are, by the time this is up, finished covering Big Brother, which I have a lot more free time. So possibly bringing back my off-season Big Brother streams. We're going to be, again, for the last time, because we're going to start going through these auditions. If you're interested in trying for Silent Podcast, interest form is in the description. But yeah, I'm looking for a whole bunch of new fun off-season stuff to do. But I know Survivor's on. You can follow Gia Worthy as well and Latoya Fox where they're covering Survivor, and I don't know about that. And yeah.
Sweet. Okay. I know we're kind of getting into like the switch up now, like Big Brother's ending, but Survivor Amazing Race has started. We're just kind of going over the cycle again.
Yeah.
And then you can find me, I'm pretty much only on Instagram now at Sabrizi2492. I'm really not on Twitter that much anymore. But I'll just be here hosting this podcast. And that's really all I'm doing for podcast stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to be here every week with you guys. Oh, any final words?
No, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that is all for this episode. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'm excited to be back next week. Bye.